What is going on, everybody? It is Fitzmiller and Cinnamon back here with another video, and today I'm going to show you guys how to refinish your roof trim on your BMW E90. This is the piece we're going to be refinishing right here. As you guys can see, this paint is completely messed up. On my car I have this piece and one of these little flaps is missing, so I went ahead and picked up another one at the local junkyard. It was about 30 bucks, and I'm gonna show you guys how to refinish. That involves sanding, painting, and putting it back on the car. Let's get right into the video. All right, so to take off this roof piece here, there's a bunch of little clips under the trim. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of pop up the end like that, and then you're gonna push it forward and up, and then this will release all of the clips. Now, I have done this quite a few times and I've broken probably all of the clips at this point, but somehow it's still on my car, so you'll be okay if you break a couple. Yep, just broke a couple more. Anyways, we got it off. All right, so I'm gonna be using 3 different types of sandpaper. We have 60 grit, I think this is 100, and then this is 220. The lower the number, by the way, is the more coarse it is. This feels rougher, and then this is smoother over on this side. So we're gonna start with the big piece of the 60 grit, sanding off all of the paint, getting the smaller pieces, and getting the last of the paint off. After we're done with that, we're gonna prep it, just clean it, and then I'm gonna be using a couple coats of black spray paint and a couple coats of the gloss. Now on the trim piece, it is gonna have these little rubber seals, but they're just gonna slide out like this. So if I can get one, yeah, they just pull out like that, and then you're just gonna feed it off of the trim piece. So we're gonna go ahead and sand this right now, and here you go. So I don't know if I made this quite clear before, but we're using the gritty sandpaper to get all the paint off, and then we're going to use the smoother sandpaper to smooth it out before we paint it. As you guys can see, all of the paint is off. These doors are plastic, so the paint was not coming off. As long as they're smooth, I'm just going to paint over it. All of the paint is off except for that. So we are done with the 60 grit sandpaper. We're gonna move to smooth it out with the 100 and 220. So now you guys can see it has more of a brushed, shiny look to it. And we're gonna finish it off with the 220, and then we're ready for paint. So what I'm using is I have a half water, half isopropyl alcohol mixture. I use this for a lot of other things, but it just kind of acts as a degreaser. So we're just gonna go ahead and coat the entire trim piece. Gonna wipe it off with a clean microfiber. Try not to touch the top part too much, but now she's ready for paint. All right, so you're gonna want to shake up your spray paint, of course, and then after you've done that, I'm gonna do about 5 different coats of black and then 3 of the clear, but you're just gonna start with light coats. You want it to be about 50% transparent after the first coat. All right, so it's wet right now, but as you guys can see, I messed up right here. I think I spit on it or something dripped from the ceiling. I'm not really sure, but there's a little blemish there. Otherwise, this thing's looking good. It does look weird right now because it's wet, but after this, we're gonna get to doing about 3 coats of the gloss, and we'll be ready to toss it back on. Putting on the last coat of the clear here, and then we're gonna put those little trim pieces on the trim, and then we'll be ready to put it all back. Now that this is all dry, we're gonna go ahead and put these trim pieces back in. And when you're putting them back in, you're gonna want this little flare right here to be up, not down. So I don't know if you guys can see that. This little side piece facing up. So as you guys can see, there's just a little bit of this white dust left. I'm just gonna brush that off. The overall finish, this trim piece came out awesome. This wasn't my first time doing this, so I had somewhat of a clue knowing how to do this, but just to put it back on here, make sure it's the right way. line it up, and it just pops back in. So here it is, nice and refinished. Again, this little powder stuff I can brush off, but it's looking good. All right, so this has been Fitz and Cinnamon back here with another video. If you guys have any questions about how you do this, drop it down in the comments. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. This has been Fitz Miller and Cinnamon back here with another video, and we will see you guys in the next one.